Now, the pillow talk comes from Queen Naja, R&B artist. Salute to Queen Naja. Now, she says on Instagram, I feel like children of content creators will have a different type of trauma for real. Imagine your mom being blamed for everything. LOL. It's funny, but it's not. Now, that's a conversation I've been saying, especially, I don't even know why this conversation has been coming up for like the last 6 months. Um, and that's where I say that when people put these, whatever they do on social media, do they necessarily understand how it affects their kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even with us sometimes, right? You don't think about how we can handle things opposed to our kids, right? So I put a lot of stuff on social media. I joke around on the Breakfast Club all the time. But how does that affect your actual kid? So now, with that being said, what should you put on social media and what shouldn't you put on social media? I was having a conversation with this woman the other day, and she was saying, that she does a podcast, and she was saying that she met this couple on social media, and she was part of their threesome for a while, which is her business, whatever she wants to do. But when you talk about that, how does that affect your kids when they come into high school and they say that their mama is a side chick or their mom is a threesome chick or whatever it may be? How does that affect? So how do we get to a place where we say we don't want to traumatize our kids? For ourselves, if we don't have kids or we don't have anybody to fall back on or with things we make up, we can take that. But how safe and comfortable is it for our kids? What do you think?
I think that there needs to be boundaries. And it's funny because when you interviewed that person, we had a little bit of a conversation when
Mhm.
you came home. And we have a very open dialogue in
Mhm.
our household. We share a lot with our children, but there are always boundaries
Uh-huh.
of what they should know versus what they shouldn't know. But I think that this is an interesting conversation for us to have, especially with you viewers, because for instance, this podcast, we talk about all types of things.
Right.
We talk about sex, we talk about intimacy.
Mhm.
Sometimes we go into great detail because we want to be of value to our viewers. So we always try to share as much as we comfortably can.
Right.
And I think that we comfortably share a lot. So the same thing can be asked of us. What if our children at some point will come back and watch what it is that we speak about on this podcast? To answer that question, I would be okay with it
Mhm.
because I wouldn't allow my children to watch adult content until they were adults themselves or could benefit from the same information that we're sharing with you guys. My daughter is 23 years old, so she is a full-fledged adult. When I was 22, I was married with a house and a baby and a tremendous amount of responsibilities. So I already knew about much of the world and worldly things. So at 23, I can have conversations with my daughter about sex, about intimacy, about love. If you guys watched one of the podcasts that we did several podcasts ago, it was myself and Madison discussing some of those things, discussing relationships, etc. And that was only a 1 hour sample of it. But we talk about life as a whole regularly. So as long as whatever it is that you're sharing is something that you feel comfortable with your children knowing in the future, then I think that that would be your boundary.
Well, let me ask you a question. So, on the Breakfast Club, if you guys watch the Breakfast Club or don't, people always joke that me and Charlemagne are, how you have your work wife, that he's my work wife, right?
Yeah.
And we joke about it all the time, right?
Mhm.
So, what's the difference in that? Because, people have made fun of Logan, like, oh, your dad is this, your dad is that. But I don't take it serious because it's jokes.
Mhm.
And I crack jokes all day long. I
Mhm.
crack jokes on you. I crack jokes on Esther. I crack jokes on Mercedes. They
Mhm.
crack jokes on me back. So it's certain things. So where is the line with it? Because I joke all day long. Even with Charlemagne, I see him like I do stupid stuff. I am that stupid guy because I'm confident in myself, right? So meaning if we're walking in the building, right?
Mhm.
And Charlemagne doesn't see me. And you know the turning thing, the glass?
Yeah.
And he goes in there,
Revolving door?
the revolving door. I don't know why I said
The
turn to the
turning
glass. The
thing
turning
made
the
of
glass. Yeah.
glass.
So if he jumps in the I remember he did it one time. He was getting in the revolving door. I jumped in there behind him. and I stopped it, right?
And then you bumped.
Not, I didn't,
Did you bump into him?
see the joke. See, that's
I'm
jokes.
just-
You laugh because it's stupid.
Seems contrived. Just little,
You see what I'm saying?
get a little feely feel.
No, I didn't get a little feeling.
Okay.
But I stopped it, right? So now we're in the revolving door. He's trying to get out, and I'm holding the revolving door. People looking at us like we're crazy. That's the stupid shit that I do, right?
Mhm.
It is what it is. It's just stupid. Like that's it. But Logan could get joked off if he's in high school about it. You know, Jackson or any one of our kids, if they're in high school, a parent could be, you know, a kid could make fun of it. I think it's jokes. I think it's funny.
Well, if kids are making fun of it, it's probably funny. The fact that they're making fun of it.
But if your
If-
mom talks about, you know, she got a train ran on her on Instagram,
That's
and
not
have kids,
funny.
that's not funny.
That's not like
To you, it's not funny. Somebody might think it's
find the
funny.
humor in that. So, but if kids were making fun of, say, for instance, Logan because of the jokes that his dad makes on a nationally syndicated morning show that's rooted in humor, I would say find new friends. You're not in good company. A huge part of life is humor and laughter and straight up and down jokes. Like our house revolves around that. We
All day
are
long.
always laughing and joking and playing. The other- 3 nights ago, Rashawn was on the edge of the bed and you said something I didn't like. And Madison was on the bed too. We're all having a conversation. And he looked down on his phone and I threatened him. And I was like, listen, you say something like that again, how far is the fall between your ass and the floor? And he was like, stop. Like, before you could even answer, I just kicked him off the bed. And I jumped off the bed and I yoked him up and I got him in a headlock. And it was the most amusing thing in the world to me. And Madison found it really funny. It's just, we play
This
fight.
is not the house to be soft.
Like you
this
can't
house
be
can soft.
soft here.
Like if you stutter,
He could
they make
not.
fun of everybody in this house to stutter.
I
Like
need to
if you be
stop
like
that.
if whatever like is, everybody's making fun of you.
I need to no.
Even to the point where London
need
will be
to
like,
stop that.
Dad, what you say, Dad? Like it is what it is. The other day we were driving, we were dropping Madison off at to the airport to go to Paris, and I was talking about, you know, you guys should go enjoy yourself. You should see the agriculture of Paris. Yo, I meant architecture, but when I say they made fun of me for an hour straight,
Everything went silent. Me and Madison just started laughing. We were like, the agriculture. So you're gonna go to Paris and
to see some farms.
see some cows.
Even to the day when she FaceTimes us, she was like, Dad, the agriculture is amazing. It's jokes. I don't cry. I don't get it.
Yeah.
It is that's what our family's about. We crack jokes. My dad hit me the other day. He was listening to the Breakfast Club. And you know, their joke is that I'm Dominican and I'm not black. So my dad goes, you better walk around with your passport because ICE is coming for you. It's jokes. Like it is what it is.
Right.
It's like my dad, like my whole family's a bunch of assholes and we just crack jokes all day. But you know, when it comes to some of the other things, I think you really have to be careful of what you put on online because even though you say, oh, I don't care how it affects me, I don't care how people look at me, you have to remember if you do have kids, it could affect them. And like Queen Naja said, it could actually scorn them and really leave them traumatized.
Mhm.